Hello everybody, my name is David but I have a feeling you're not really here to see me. You're here to see a man who has signed over 2,000 signatures this weekend, taken over 600 pictures with his fans. A man who is probably more machine than that because he just keeps on going. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Stan Lee! Accompanied by a very old friend. Stan's going to protect you. Stan, I have one question for you before we're asking, you all got questions for Stan, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, nobody said I'd have to answer questions.
Sorry.
Like being in school and getting a test. I'll see you later.
Come back. You have, over the years, created so many loved characters.
Oh, thousands and thousands.
Is there one of the thousands that is closest to your heart?
Yeah, whichever one I'm writing at the moment.
Brilliant.
No, I love them all. They're all wonderful, and I can't believe I was clever enough to dream them up.
I was at the SFX Awards earlier this year, and one of the awards was for biggest disappointment of 2011. And apparently the biggest disappointment was that you never got a cameo in a film last year. How do you feel about winning that award?
I think that it was real cute. The reason I didn't get the cameo in one or two movies was they were shot too far away. One of the X-Men movies was shot in Australia, and I couldn't make it. Couldn't raise the fare. I love doing those cameos, and wait till you see the one in Spider-Man and in the Avengers. You get a big kick out of those. They're funny.
Let's see. Yes, okay.
Thank you. It's very nice of you.
I'm
Very hospitable.
I'm very nice.
I'm going to sit down because he says I may. Thank you.
So without more ado, because time is ticking, let's hand it over to you. I almost hesitate to ask this question, but does anybody have a question for Stan? I saw a button up there first.
Now, how many of you were here at the panel yesterday? Oh my gosh, now I gotta make sure I say different things. I gotta make sure I don't contradict myself too. All right, here we go. This man is great, by the way. I couldn't do it without him.
Yeah? Let's go. Okay. First, I want to thank you. I think we all want to thank you, yeah?
Don't make me have to get up again.
Okay, you've created some amazing characters, and Captain America, you didn't create, but you've done so much for them. What was the decision to reinvent Captain America as such?
Oh, this is a bad one. I didn't invent Captain America. Joe Simon and Jack Kirby invented him a few months ago.
I mean, why did you decide to bring him back?
Ah, yes, I did bring him back. You see, I'm literally very honest. What happened was we had already done most of the Marvel characters, and I was looking for a new one to do. And I remembered Captain America because I had read him when I was young and I loved him. And I said, well, we haven't had him since World War II. How can I bring him back? And then I figured, well, it's easy. He was in a plane, the plane crashed, he ended up in a cake of ice somewhere up north. And as you know, anybody who ends up in a cake of ice lives forever. So some people find him and they chip away the cake of ice and he comes back to life and there you are. That shows how scientific I am. I always have a good scientific reason for everything that happens. And I decided to make him as interesting as I could, that he'd think of himself when he came back to life, sort of as an anachronism. He was in a time he didn't belong in. He didn't know anything about hippies or the drug culture or anything of that sort, Woodstock. And he felt strange because people weren't as patriotic as they had been when he had died. So I tried to, not died, but been in the ice. I tried to make him dramatic and feeling he didn't belong in the world he was in now. And that's what happened, and the readers seemed to like it, and I kept my job, and thank you for asking, because it gave me something to talk about.
Thank you.
Or else I'd have just been sitting here looking blank, and you'd have wondered what you were doing here in the first place.
Thank you. Question from the right-hand side.
Hi, Stan. Big fan. I have a pretty simple question. Two good actors, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, got to play with you. And I would like to know, between two, who you think is more true to being a Peter Parker? Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield?
Oh, that's a tough question. By the way, you see, he's my translator because I'm American, so I don't understand English that well. No, actually, it's hard for me to hear with the microphone. It all sounds muffled to me. But anyway, Tobey Maguire was absolutely great. I don't know if you remember, but when it was first announced that he was going to play Captain America, I'm sorry, says Spider-Man, everybody was unhappy. They said, how can he be Spider-Man? He doesn't look like Spider-Man. But then everybody loved him, and he became Spider-Man. Now you have Andrew Garfield, and everybody is saying, but he doesn't look anything like Tobey Maguire. How can he be Spider-Man? Well, let me tell you, I've met him, I've spoken to him, I've seen him in action. He is as good as Tobey Maguire. You're going to love Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I promise, and you know I wouldn't lie to you.
We're going to take a question from the middle. We've done the left, we've done the right. Let's do the middle.
Hi Stan, welcome to England. Marvel have done really well of the movies and the media. Are there any TV shows coming up? Sort of like Wolverine and the X-Men or anything like that?
Well, there are some cartoon shows that are coming up that I know about. In fact, I play one of the characters in one. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it, but it's got the word Marvel in there somewhere. And I'm one of the characters, so you better watch for that. I don't know of any live-action TV shows that Marvel is working on, but if I find out about any, I'll come right back. I'll fly right back to London and let you know, because you deserve an answer.
Mr. Stan, are there any of your characters that you would like to see come back to TV?
Oh, I'd like to see all of them on TV, starting with the Hulk with Lou Ferrigno. Remember Lou Ferrigno? You know, Lou, who's the nicest guy in the world. He's a real gentle giant. He's going to do the voice of the Hulk, I believe, in the Avengers. So listen for him.
Still in. Who bought Marvel Comics as a kid? It was a great time to buy Marvel Comics, wasn't it? So the next question goes to a kid.
Thank you. I'm a big fan, and I just want to know, over the years, which has been your most favourite character, and why?
Well, I guess Spider-Man, because he seems to be the most popular, and he's probably the most like me. He's not the smartest guy, he's not the handsomest guy, he's not the, you know, he's just an ordinary guy with a lot of problems. Luckily, he ends up beating the villain because the writers always find a way for him to do it. But I kind of like Spider-Man.
Question from the left.
Hi Stan, I just wanted to know, out of all the characters that you've made over the years, how did you come up with the designs for all of their unique costumes?
The story of my life. I heard, I stand, I just want to know, and then the important part I couldn't make out. Oh, I'd like to take the credit for them, but I really didn't. What happened was, I would come up with the idea for the character, for who the character was and roughly what he would look like. But then I would talk to the artist, and it was the artist who designed all the costumes. One of the funniest things, and it isn't really a costume, but when I thought of the Hulk, I called Jack Kirby and I said, I want to do a character called the Hulk. And he said, fine, I'll draw it. So he said, what is he like? And I said, well, I want him to be sort of a good-looking monster. And Jack threw up his hands. He said, I can't draw a good-looking monster. But we compromised and we finally ended up with the Hulk.
Question from the middle. Do you know what? They've been taking it from the front, so I'm going to take a run down to the back.
Boy, he gets a lot of exercise running around.
Hi, Stan. Hi, Stan. You're obviously a very creative man. Have you ever struggled to have ideas, or do they just come naturally?
Well, it's always a little bit of a struggle, but I've been lucky. If I have to think of a new character, I usually can. And it's just like, I guess, see, to me, people who can do other things are miraculous. For example, I have friends who play guitar and pianos. I don't know how you can play a melody with one hand and think of chords with another hand at the same time. It's like you have to have two brains. I can't understand it. What I do comes easy. I mean, I just have to think of some character that nobody thought of before and give them a name and let them have adventures. I mean, I almost feel guilty getting paid for it.
It's quite Berwick, that's easy.